London is a city where history is always close to the surface. Its architectural landmarks are a reminder that the most significant sites do not always have to be monumental in size. This story is about one such building, number 10 Downing Street. Behind the quiet facade of this famous black door lie many secrets. Number 10 has been the setting for violent riots, passionate protest and surprising activities. It contains the official residence of the Prime Minister and other government buildings. In effect, it is the home of the British government. Cabinet, the seat of government in a parliamentary system, has held its meetings in the same room at number 10 since 1856. Prime Minister Gordon Brown recently moved the weekly cabinet meeting from Thursday to Tuesday. Pioneering policies have been developed and world-changing meetings, chaired by Britain's greatest leaders, have taken place inside its walls. It is office and workplace for the Prime Minister and the staff employed to support him in his role. Downing Street has been the nerve centre of the British government through 2 world wars. It was in front of number 10 that then Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain proclaimed there would be peace in our time, while waving his soon-to-be-broken pact with Adolf Hitler. The next Prime Minister in residence, Winston Churchill, had to move after a German bomb shattered several rooms and killed 3 civil servants in October 1940. The toll would have been worse had the Prime Minister himself not warned kitchen staff to leave the area shortly before the attack. Such physical violence has been thankfully rare. However, the increased fear of terrorism in recent times has brought about some modifications. In 1989, large black gates were installed following an IRA attack on London. After September 2001, security has been tightened even further. Downing Street began its association with the office of the Prime Minister in 1730. The street was named after Sir George Downing, who served under Cromwell in the 17th century. It runs from Whitehall towards St James Park. That the house is still being used today by Gordon Brown is due to the refusal of Britain's first ever Prime Minister, Robert Walpole, to accept the house as a personal gift. Instead, he insisted it be used by future First Lords of the Treasury. During its history, the house has undergone major development to be turned into a grand residence, fit for the most powerful politician in the country. It has never been an overpaid job. Until the early 20th century, incoming Prime Ministers had to move in their own furniture. The PM's neighbours are the Chancellor of the Exchequer at number 11 and the Government Whip at number 12. Although recent Prime Minister Tony Blair took over number 11 as well because he needed the space for his wife and children. He wasn't the first Prime Minister to do so. In 1881, William Gladstone took over number 10, 11 and 12 Downing Street to accommodate his growing family during his final term in office. To the present day, 51 men and 1 woman have passed through the doors of number 10 Downing Street as British Prime Minister. These days, the complex remains a hive of activity. Even in the 1980s, then Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher said the main problem with living on top of the shop was that the line between home and work became increasingly difficult to maintain. So despite its humble facade, number 10 remains a seat of power rivaling the most ostentatious.